Welcome. You've done enough today. You don't need to rush. You don't need to fix anything right now. This moment is for you. A calm space, a quiet story, and perhaps a new way of seeing wealth and peace. Tonight, I want to share with you a gentle message from a remarkable book, The Millionaire Next Door, written by Thomas Stanley and William Danko. It's not a loud book. It doesn't shout about money. Instead, it listens and it observes, quietly, patiently, and what it tells us might surprise you. When we think of millionaires, we often picture something big, bright, loud, expensive. We imagine large homes, luxury cars, fine wine, designer clothes, exclusive vacations. But what this book reveals is something very different. The truth is, most real millionaires are invisible. They don't live in the wealthiest neighborhoods. They don't drive brand new sports cars. They don't broadcast their success. They might be your neighbor. They might be the owner of the small hardware store on the corner. They might be the couple quietly enjoying a walk in the park. They are not rich because they look rich. They are rich because they chose simplicity, consistency, discipline. They live below their means. They spend thoughtfully. They save intentionally. And they invest quietly. This idea that wealth grows in silence feels comforting, doesn't it? You don't need to chase. You don't need to impress. You just need to plant your seeds and water them with patience. Let's breathe in together, gently, and exhale, softly. Let's walk slowly now through the world of these quiet millionaires. The authors studied thousands of wealthy households over decades. They found that most millionaires had never inherited money. Over 80% were self-made, ordinary people with extraordinary habits. They didn't get rich overnight. They didn't win the lottery. They didn't take wild risks. Instead, they saved, they invested, they stayed the course. They knew that time is the most powerful partner in building wealth. One of the most powerful ideas in the book is this: high income does not equal wealth. Many people earn large salaries, but spend even more. Their homes are impressive. Their cars are luxurious, but their savings are small. Their debts are large. The authors call these people UAWs, under-accumulators of wealth. Then there are others who may earn far less, but live on even less than they earn. They save consistently, they invest patiently, and they build true financial security. These are called PAWs, prodigious accumulators of wealth. Which would you rather be? There's a simple formula in the book. Expected net worth =, age x annual income, 10. If your actual net worth is above that number, you are doing better than average. If it's below, you're spending more than you save. It's not about shame. It's about awareness and choice. Because once you know where you are, you can choose where to go next. And that's empowering. Let's pause for a moment and imagine a life where you don't worry about bills, where you have savings to cover the unexpected, where your money grows while you sleep. Not because you're chasing more, but because you've learned to need less. That is the life of the millionaire next door. Many of them are small business owners. They run quiet operations, landscaping, dry cleaning, repair shops, bookkeeping. They don't appear wealthy, but their balance sheets say otherwise. They build equity. They reinvest profits. They keep costs low, and they stay consistent even when no one is watching. They know that true wealth is not what you see. It's what you don't have to worry about. And when it comes to their children, they're careful. They don't shower their kids with money because they know that too much, too easily, can lead to a lack of drive and a misunderstanding of value. They don't just leave behind money, they leave behind lessons. They teach that success is not handed down. It's built, bit by bit, choice by choice. Another powerful idea from the book is this: the more you spend to look rich, the harder it becomes to be rich. Every time you upgrade your car, move into a bigger house, buy something you don't need, you take away from your future. Real millionaires don't fall into that trap. They don't buy to impress. They buy to fulfill needs. They value freedom more than attention. They could buy the newest, shiniest things, but they often choose not to because they've already won and they know what really matters. Let's slow things down now as we approach the end of this story. Not a dramatic ending, but a quiet, hopeful one, because maybe, just maybe, this kind of life is within reach for you too. A life where you don't feel rushed, where you don't feel behind, where you feel secure, content, and free. You don't need to know everything now. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to begin. Spend with care, save with purpose, and believe that small steps taken steadily will lead to something beautiful. So tonight, as you settle in, remember the millionaire next door. They are not superhuman. They are not lucky. They are simply patient, and they chose peace. And so can you. Let your worries rest. Let your thoughts drift. Let your breath slow. You are enough. You are becoming, and you are gently growing into something powerful. The richest life might just be the quietest one. Good night, and sleep well. Hello there. Welcome. Tonight, let's take a quiet journey together. Not to a place far away, but to a place of understanding. A place of calm wisdom, and perhaps a new way of thinking about wealth and peace. You might have heard of a book called The Millionaire Next Door. It's not a loud book. It doesn't promise fast cars or sudden riches. Instead, it gently shares the truth that real wealth doesn't shout, it whispers. And tonight, I'd like to read you that story, softly, slowly, so you can take it in and rest. The authors, Thomas Stanley and William Danko, spent over 20 years studying real millionaires in America. Not celebrities, not lottery winners, just regular people who built lasting wealth quietly. They found something unexpected. Most millionaires don't live in mansions. They don't wear fancy watches or drive luxury cars. They're not showing off. In fact, most of them live next door in modest homes, with quiet lives and simple routines. They are calm with their money, patient, practical, and very, very good at letting their money grow. You see, many people believe that if someone earns a high income, they must be rich. But that's not always true. You can make hundreds of thousands of dollars and still have nothing saved, because spending is easy. And saving, real saving, takes discipline and patience. The authors use two terms, UAW, under accumulator of wealth, and PAW, prodigious accumulator of wealth. The UAW often earns more, but spends more too, trying to look successful, buying things to impress others, living paycheck to paycheck despite their income. But the PAW, they earn and save. They invest quietly. They don't follow fads or trends. They follow a plan. And over time, they build true wealth, the kind that doesn't need to be seen. Real millionaires live below their means, not because they have to, but because it brings them peace. They don't need to prove anything to anyone. They don't care what brand their shoes are, or what kind of phone they use. They care about freedom and security, and the ability to sleep well at night, knowing they're prepared. They often drive used cars. They shop with lists. They avoid debt, especially the kind that grows quietly in the background. Credit cards, car loans, impulse purchases. They understand a simple truth. Every dollar you don't spend is a dollar you can invest. And every invested dollar becomes a worker for your future. Many of these quiet millionaires are business owners, but not the kind you see on magazine covers. They own small, steady businesses, like dry cleaners, plumbing services, accounting firms, construction companies. They build wealth through consistency, not through drama, not through risk, but through care and long-term thinking. They focus not on what's exciting, but on what works. Another key idea in the book is what the authors call economic outpatient care. It's when parents give their grown children too much money, too often, trying to help, but accidentally harming. Because when money is easy to get, it's often easy to waste. The millionaires next door don't just pass down wealth. They pass down habits, values, and strength. They teach their children to live on less than they earn, to work hard, to invest early, to be smart but not flashy, because real security comes from who you are, not what you wear. And then there's the trap of status. It's easy to fall into. To think, if I just get this new car, this new watch, that new apartment, then I'll feel successful. But that feeling doesn't last, and the debt stays behind. Real millionaires have learned this. They don't need the latest. They don't need the biggest. They've chosen peace over performance. They remind us that it's not about looking rich. It's about being free, free from worry, free from comparison, free from stress, and free to spend time how they choose. Let's take a breath together, in and out, slowly, because everything we've talked about, you can begin practicing, little by little, quietly. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. You can track your spending, create a small savings habit, read a little about investing, or maybe just decide to buy a little less this week and give yourself a little more room to breathe. The millionaire next door is not superhuman. They're just someone who made patient, thoughtful choices, one day at a time. And that's something anyone can do, including you. You don't need to impress anyone. You don't need to chase anyone. You don't need to prove anything. You only need peace and direction and patience. And maybe tonight, as you rest your head, you'll carry that peace with you, knowing that real wealth starts with small, quiet decisions, and that sometimes the richest life is the simplest one. Sleep well. You're already on your way. Good night.